has the potential to take out a lot of homes. We hope that is not the case. We heard of one home that was on fire. There's an LA City fire ship flying to the center of your screen. He may make a drop here. This is just off Gavina Road, which is north of the 210, south of Kagel Canyon. We want to come to the right a little bit and push in right there on those high flames right off of that road. We'll go to SkyMap 7. And once it jumps Gavina, we're going to have a problem because look at all the homes in this area. And as we pan to the right slowly, it's been picking up some steam here. We go further to the right, and you're going to see a neighborhood that it is very, very close to. Via San Diego, the fire is very close to those homes. There's some structure protection in place. The helicopters are making drops, but the high winds make it nearly impossible to stop this fire. So it'll actually be a miracle if we don't lose some structures and some homes in here. We heard of one that went up in smoke, but we couldn't see it, or up in flames, I should say, but we couldn't see it because of the smoke. I want to come out to a bit of a wider shot, and I also want to let you know this is unprecedented. Van Nuys Airport down to half a mile visibility. They're under VFR conditions. Burbank Airport under VFR conditions. They're down to 5,000-foot runway visibility, which is usually what we have in a heavy fog condition. That gives you an idea how unhealthy the air is. If you have respiratory problems, do not go outside. This is the worst I've ever seen, to be honest with you, because all the smoke is just sitting right down on the ground. It's not going up in the air. It's not dissipating. It's sitting in an inversion layer. And when you have only a half a mile visibility because of smoke, that's right down onto the ground. It will cause problems. It almost makes us sick when we have to fly through it. I want to open up a little bit and go to the right, and then I want to bring up our view where we go to the daytime view, and it shows what we're looking at in there. Now, we can't see through the smoke, but if we go to the daytime view, it'll show us. Push right in there at McClay and Edger, Fullerton, all of those areas just south of there on the bottom of your screen. That's where all those homes are, and those homes right now will come off of that and go to our live shot from Air 7. They are all in jeopardy because of this fire. We'll go to the left a little bit more, show you the head of the fire burning out of Kagel Canyon down into Pacoima, Lakeview Terrace, Sylmar. That's the area that is still really under mandatory evacuations. The evacuations north of the 210 from Little Tahunga Canyon Road to Sayre. Now, that's a large area. Sycamore Recreation Center is one of the areas you can go, or Sunland Senior Center. They have been set up to take people that have been evacuated. But this fire right now has the potential, unfortunately, to take out a lot of homes. The winds actually in the last little bit have calmed down a little bit, so that's a help. But what we see with these conditions, you know, one moment it doesn't seem too bad, and the next moment we've got another 30, 40 mile an hour gust out of the north. So we're keeping our fingers crossed with this one that it doesn't turn out to be as devastating as what we're seeing in Ventura, but it certainly has the potential to. I think we'll get some tankers in here pretty soon, but look at that. Once it jumps Gavina Road, that's really a problem. Pan to the right a little bit. The bottom of your screen, you see homes, and look at that neighborhood there. We try to push in as much as we can, but it's difficult to see if they have good structure protection in place because of the smoke. This is a smoke, a wind-driven fire, but lots of times we see the smoke dissipate. It's hitting an inversion layer, and it's not. It's just laying right down on top of those homes. You do see a fire unit there trying to get into place. We'll go to the left a little bit and give you an idea. Look at the fire there taking that tree, and then look how close it is to those homes. So I think we really have a battle on our hands right now to save some of these homes. It's going to be extremely difficult, and the fire seems to be picking up steam, even though the winds have died down a little bit. When you get over 2,500 areas, the exposure exponentially has grown so big it's hard to get resources in place quick enough. They're doing a fantastic job. The helicopters are making water drops. I don't know if the super scoopers can be effective in these types of winds. We will find out, but I'm not too sure that they can fly down into this area through the smoke and make a drop. It's hard enough for the helicopters, and they have to move them out when they do that. I think the helicopters are going to be most effective, and they are going to save some of these homes. Push into that hot spot. There was a concern. We had an address. It was at Terabella, and it was Luana, I believe, and there was a home reported to be on fire. That's about the approximate location. Let's go back to the daylight view, if we can, Jordan, and see exactly where that is. Now, fortunately, it looks like that exact spot. Isn't that awesome how we can bring that up? Isn't that incredible? That exact spot is actually up there, it appears, in some brush, but very close to that neighborhood right there. We'll come back out of that shot, go to our live shot, and it gives you an idea what we're dealing with. That's a way that we can actually see with Sky Map 7 where the fire is burning through the smoke. And I don't think anybody else has that capability. It's pretty phenomenal in helping us to see what's going on. What we can see, though, as we go back to the left, this area right in here is pretty suspect. It seems like it may have died down just a bit, but once it jumps Gavina Road, it's right up towards the home. See that area there we showed you moments ago?
Well, Scott,
that fire is kicked up, and it's right up next to the houses.